Welcome to my next playthrough series. Yes, we're back to Terminator Genisys Rise of the Resistance. This is mission 5, and it's going to get ugly. This is going to be a brutal one. We'll get into the details here in a second. This is the main map laid out. So we busted through the gate, and now this mission is called Storming the Courtyard, mission 5. So we're trying to find the entrance to the base, is the gist of it. I'll read up the actual intro here in a minute. So we're going to be playing the same characters again as I've been playing the whole time. We're going to be playing with the Guardian. He's in red. We have Alex in blue in the truck, which is heavily damaged because it made its way through here, but it's not going anywhere. The gunnery ability is still available for the truck, though, so we can still use the mounted gun on it, but it can't move. And Kyle Reese is over here next to our Terminator. And we have 4 points of interest we're trying to get to in the 4 corners of the map. So one of them is the entrance to the base. The other 3 are obviously going to be bad things. And this time we also have 3 soldiers helping us. They have 2 hit points each. If they take their 2 damage, they are wiped out and off the map and gone, but they are able to help us. And as far as they act kind of like characters, so if they get into a zone that has a waypoint token, it will trigger. So we kind of have to spread out from the center here and check out the 4 waypoint tokens. All right, let's recap a little bit. Let's take a look at our Guardian. We'll take a look at Alex, take a look at Kyle Reese, and then we'll read the intro to the game and get things set up. Alright, I hope this is focusing. I've rearranged their weapons a little bit for this mission. So, of course, the Guardian's red. We have 2 command tokens, which we can use for rerolls of any dice. You have to reroll all dice. He's got his basic abilities. He's got his attack. He's got his rescue action. He's got a defense, fist defense. Everyone's got 2 moves, a rest and an interact. He's got 3 health, but 2 more because of his 2 class cards. He's got bodyguard and the assault, giving him 2 more health, so he's a total of 5. If he takes 6 damage, he'll be knocked down, he'll be killed. And he says whenever you use a move action, you can move 1 additional space, even if you're down. And whenever an adjacent character would take a wound, you may take it instead if you do refresh one of your rank tokens. So he has 2 rank tokens. So ability to do that. He has got his plasma shotgun. It's just a starting weapon. It rolls 4 dice, has a range of 4, and I'm giving him the plasma rifle Mark II. So level 1 weapon, 3 dice, a range up to 8, and you can use 2 attacks on it. If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, you can re-roll 1 result. And on the plasma shotgun, it's just a 6. And I gave him the plasma canister, which means he can take the dice off of one of these weapons and re-roll them and use them again. So I think that's what we're doing with our Guardian. Now let's take a look at Alex. Alright, so taking a look at Alex, he has, when you're doing interact space, you can set the die to any value, so he can just crack open cases, no problem. He's going to be blue, he's got 2 rank tokens. And yes, these grenade tokens are just to be used if you have grenades, which he has an EMP grenade, so there's that. And he's got, this must be a match an enemy entrance. We can put a die here and then change the enemy entrance. We know how that worked. We did that last time. So he's got a plasma rifle up to 8, and this is just a starting plasma rifle, so he needs a 6 for 1 reroll. He has the net gun, which he can stun enemies between range 2 to 5. He has an EMP grenade, which we'll get into the details if and when he uses it. He's the hacker. So special, stun 1 adjacent enemy with a defense rating lower than this die's value. Enemies that do not have a defense rating are unaffected. He can use a 1 fist per, of course, defense. He's got 3 defense fists, as you can see, they're blue. After defending against an enemy within 4 hexes, it becomes stunned. Or a survivor, he's got an extra health. So he's got 4, he can take 5 hits before he's downed. He's got, after defending, move up to 2 hexes. You can use this ability even if you are downed. So he's got a lot of defense abilities. So that's Alex, and of course the 2 moves, the rest, and an interact. Alright, let's take a look at our last character, and that's Kyle Reese, and then we'll take a look at our 3 soldiers that are going to be helping us. So they are called resistant soldiers. And I apologize for the glare, because I have sleeves on the cards, because this game is hard to find, and I want the cards to be in pristine shape. So he's yellow, 2 rank tokens. He's got an extra health as well, so he'll be up to 5 before he's knocked out. This attack action space can be used as one of your weapon spaces, so he can actually use any weapon that he has. We're giving him the machine gun and the sniper rifle. And you don't have to pay additional movement points to move through obstacles. So he can just, it costs an extra movement point to go out to the yellow obstacles. He just does it for 1 movement. Now he's got an attack ability. When attacking, add 1 hit to result. So that's pretty cool. He's got an engineer ability class, treat the space an extra wound, and you may increase or decrease die values here by 1 on interact. He has the gunner class, of course, Kyle Reese. This action space copies an attack action of one of your equipped weapon cards. So he could actually fire, for instance, his sniper rifle, which has 2 weapon class. He could use all 4 dice to fire the sniper rifle 4 times. Wow. And the other thing is, whenever you assign a die to an attack action space, you can increase or decrease the value by 1, which is really cool, because his sniper rifle, if it uses a 4, 5, or 6 die, each of your fist results adds 2 hits in addition to triggering abilities. And the machine gun is a 4, 5, or 6, so for him it would be 3, 4, 5, or 6, because he can adjust the die value. After attacking with this weapon, you may make a second attack against a target within range, and it has a range of 2 to 8. He has night vision goggles we're giving him. When attacking an enemy further than 3 hexes away, discard this card to change 1 Terminator head result to a hit and ignore all other Terminator results. And off to the side here, I do have a truck card. This is the truck damage. So the truck can take that much damage before it is destroyed. And once the truck is destroyed, well, then the turret gun on it is obviously not going to be of any use anymore. All right, I'm going to get the book out, and we're going to read about this scenario. One more quick thing here before I get into the reading is, so for the map, we have 6 spawn points, which is terrible. So we have a 1 here, alpha, a 2 there, a die roll of 3 there, a die roll of 4 there, and then we have a 5 and a 6. So basically every die roll for reinforcements will be bringing enemies onto the board. And at the beginning of this mission, we have to roll 3 dice for each of our main characters, and they are going to get 3 enemies coming onto the board. Ouch. All right, let's take a quick look in the book at our little bit of more of a setup, and then we'll read the introduction. All right, so mission setup for mission 5, Storming the Courtyard. So I've got our enemy pool set up. We know how that works. So we were using red is our Guardian, blue is Alex, and the yellow is Kyle Reese. This is the order that they will be coming out in. It says, after assembling the enemy pool, each player rolls 3 dice and places enemies from their starting pool in the matching entrances. So yeah, we'll get to that as part of the setup. Our objectives, these objectives must be completed in order. Locate the underground entrance, waypoint Alpha. So one of the 4 waypoints is Alpha. We have to find the underground entrance. All characters must be in the same zone as the waypoint Alpha. By doing so, they proceed underground. Campaign reward would then be all characters keep their weapons and equipment and gain a new class card. Another class card, so we'll have 3 each after this. I got 2 so far. Waypoints, so we're using Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Shuffle these tokens and place 1 face down at each waypoint. Did that already. I don't know where they are. Ally is use 3 resistant soldiers, place them in the starting zone. So the starting zone is anything within the blue lines here, and I've already set up our characters as I've showed you. So I've got 3 in purple are our resistant soldiers. We've got Alex in the truck on the turret, and we got our Terminator Guardian, and we have Kyle Reese there. All right, what else do we have? And oh, so this time for equipment cards, our equipment card deck includes level 1, 2, and 3. And the weapon deck includes level 1, 2, and 3. And a reference, we have supply crates, the gunner seat, the passenger seat, and the truck damage marker, which I have talked about. All right, we are going to get into Mission 5, Storming the Courtyard. I'm going to read the intro for that. It says, after scragging the T-800 sentries at the entry checkpoint, we headed straight into machine hell. The shaped charges mounted under the truck had disabled it, but that was part of our plan. Besides causing a big diversion, the automated turrets atop the walls couldn't depress low enough to fire on the entry points, giving us a measure of protection from them. But they didn't mean we were safe at all. Dozens of T-800s stood at the inner courtyard, firing their plasma weapons on the convoy. The bright purple beams reduced our truck's front compartment to slag. I couldn't see whether Alex had made it out. I was way too busy fighting for my life. "Move out, soldiers!" John shouted as he activated the pop-up plasma cannon. The moment it locked into place atop the truck, he fired, mowing down a first wave of endos. Our forces swept forward, concentrating their fire on the remaining T-800s. We'd gained a foothold inside the compound, but could we keep it? With a roar, HK and a drone flashed overhead, releasing a familiar metal sphere that plummeted toward us. Arms and legs snapped out, and the spider tank hit the ground with a thud. Its twin plasma cannons immediately firing a nearby platoon, cutting them to pieces as they tried to take it down. As the four-legged drone scanned the more targets, John opened up it with the cannon. It returned fire, detonating the fuel tank underneath, even as John blew it to hell. Jumping free as an explosion rocked the truck, he took cover by its front end, ordering a nearby soldier to get up on the plasma cannon to provide covering fire. Sniping at approaching T-800s and an MK, I joined him. A moment later, a dark sphere shoved out of the truck's ruined cab and scrambled down to join us. Alex huddled near the vehicle, his uniform scorched and smoking, but otherwise unharmed. Then we heard a plasma rifle firing in full auto and someone approached our position. We all readied our weapons, only to lower them and sigh in relief as the Guardian snapped around the corner. "Where's then now, John?" "Where to now, John?" I shouted over the incoming plasma fire and shouts and screams of the dying. "We gotta find a way inside," he shouted back, looking around. The intensity I knew all too well. "Let's move!" With that, he charged forward, blasting anything metal that moved. Taking a deep breath, the rest of us followed him toward what might be our utter destruction, but it was the only way to go. Alright, that is the introduction. And it's time now to roll up our starting enemy units and see what we get. Alright, I'm going to put the dice tower right here in the middle of the board. So I grabbed 3 dice for each character. We're going to roll this up, and then we're going to get all of the starting enemies on the board, and let's see what we get. And, there's lots of stuff at 6. Okay, so for Kyle, he's going to get an enemy at 3, 6, and 6. For Alex, he's going to get 5, 5, and 6, and 2 1s and a 4 for our Guardian Terminator. Alright, let's, it doesn't matter which we start with. Let's start with our Guardian Terminator. 2 at 1 and 1 at 4. Right way at the top left at 1, we're going to get one of these nasty turret guys coming out, and then a T-800. And over we go now to 4 for the next in line, which is another T-800. Alright, so we have spawn point 4. We have a T-800 just popping out there, and that takes care of our dice for our Guardian Terminator. Alright, let's do Alex. Let's go ahead and do Kyle Reese next. He's got a 3 and 2 at 6. Alright, and the one at location 3, which is right here. The first up for him is a T-800. Showing up right there. Ooh, this is going to be bad. Alright, and he's got 2 coming out at 6. That's another T-800 and a Hunter Killer. I have a funny feeling this is going to be brutal. Alright, so he gets a T-800 coming out and a Hunter Killer. So yes, it's bad every time we spawn now. And spawning at the end of every player's turn is 2 dice currently. So that's that. Alright, that takes care of all of Kyle's spawn-in enemies, and now we are over to Alex. He has 2 5s and 1 6. And yes, for spawning, you do the low numbers first and then the high. So 2 are coming in at 5, so he's going to get a Hunter Killer and a T-800, and then the 6, that was the 5, and then the 6 is another T-800. So we have a lot coming at us. An awful lot. Alright, that's going to end off our setup. And I think I'm going to leave it off there for today. That's our setup. So I'm going to back the camera out. And we're going to wrap it up for today, our introduction. And for the wrap up, one last thing we didn't look at is we didn't look at the, where is our soldiers? Our resistance soldiers. So basically they have a movement of 5, attack range of 6. They roll 3 dice. Command this ally to perform 1 action from the list below. Special, if we use a 4, 5, or 6 on them, it could perform 2 actions, so they can either move twice, attack twice, or rest. Recover 1 wound, cannot rescue. So once they take 2 wounds, they are out of here. So that's the resistance soldiers. That's how they work. So we're going to leave it off there. We have a lot of enemies all of a sudden on the board, but that's how this game works. And we haven't looked at the turret on the gun where Alex is currently sitting, the gun turret. So it rolls 4 dice, has a range of 3 to 12, so very, very far range. If you put a 1 and 2 on it, you make 1 attack. If you put a 3 or 4, you can do 2 attacks. If you do 5 or 6, You can make 3 attacks, and when attacking, count the range and line of sight from the gunner box on the truck token, ignoring the truck's red outlines. So that's how that works. I think we've covered everything off. Yellow terrain is good for cover, but it does not block your line of sight. Red does. And figures do not block line of sight either. These two currently are sitting on cover. I've got Kyle and our Terminator Guardian are sitting on a 2 cover. This soldier's on a 2 cover. This soldier's on a 1 cover. And this soldier is not in cover. So there we go. Alright, that's going to wrap us up for today. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, descriptions, and likes. This is Terminator Genisys Rise of the Resistance. It is Mission 5. Called Storming the Courtyard. We're looking for the entrance. We're going to see how we do. So thanks so much. Hope to see you tomorrow for the continuation.